All right, guys. So I am here. I'm going to wait for some more people to get logged in before we really start our discussion. But you are supposed to read over these two papers before you participate in the discussion. The first part is pretty easy. I'll kind of read that off with you. I'll also read this one off with you. And then there's a part where you need to go on Padlet to discuss, but we can also discuss here. Hi, Keith. I see that you're here. Hola. I'm going to give it about another minute or two and see who gets started. And then if we don't get more people, oh, it says 10 people are watching. Okay, I'll still give it about 30 minutes or 30 seconds here. Hi, Shiza and Annabelle. How's everybody doing? What y'all been doing during all this quarantine time? Good morning, Zolan and Christian and Gabe. Nice name, Gabe. And Tay, I'm not sure who Tay is because we got a lot of people. I guess Taylor, maybe. And Amanda. And Christian's been eating. All right. Yeah, me too. I've got some fruit over here I'm going to snack on too. Hey, Rushi and Vital. ¿Cómo estás? Muy bien, ¿y usted? See if you can answer that back in Spanish. Lily, I guess. Hi, Lily. Okay, let's make sure we have appropriate comments, Mr. Edie. Hey, Brandon. And someone said they haven't gotten to eat. So if you are that person that said you haven't gotten to eat, please email me. There's some things that our county's doing to help people. So you don't have to say who you are, but you can email me later. I can help you out. All right, we got a lot of people here. So I'm going to start with the discussion. Hey, Kira, and whoever SV is, what's up? Hey, everybody. Chase, do we have to do the DPQ? That's a great question. So I do think it's unfair to ask you guys to do it online. So we're going to start the discussion since I already told y'all we were going to start it, and you did just do some notes about Gandhi. So this is kind of a good example that we can discuss. All right, and hey, Avery. All right, so I'm going to read the first part here where it says you are, and I want your reactions, like how you would react. So after I read it, I want you to tell me how would you react to the scenario, and I'll share a couple. Let's make sure we keep it school appropriate. So, you're walking over to use a library's one free computer. Another student is coming over too, just as you're sitting down. He quietly explains he has a class next period and he wonders if he can use the computer before you. He'll only be a few minutes, he says, but we'll understand if you say no because you were there first. So what would you do for the guy who you guys both approached the computer at the same time and he asked nicely if he could use it first? I miss you too, Hannah. Oh my gosh, Avery and y'all gotta stop. Okay, Jared says he can't hear. I don't know, I did tell my husband to kind of check this mic, but maybe I need to get closer. Didn't really want to close up, but. Okay, Amanda says she would let him use it, so that's one option, be nice and let him use it. It's gonna lag, Jared. Currently meeting with a math teacher. Okay, I understand whoever Crystal Dream is. That's fine. You can watch the live stream later. I'm going to post it. Lucky Duck says they would let him use a computer. Would anybody say, oh, no, because I don't have my phone? Oh, so if Chase, if you didn't have another option to do work, you would say, no, you're doing yours first. Okay. I would let him use it after he joins the communist regime. I'm surprised, Vital, that came from you. He was polite and you would let him use it. I would say as long as it's an emergency, I understand that. All right, so let's go to number 2. It's going to get a little more intense here. You're walking over to use the library's one free computer, so that part stayed the same. Just as you get there, an underclassman, that means someone younger than you, across the room is trying to beat you out like they're running to race to get there. By the way, it's also against the rules to run in the library. He gets there after you do, so you did beat him. But he scooches into the seat right before you can sit down, saying that he has to use the computer really bad. Your assignment isn't really that urgent, but you know him and he's always doing stuff last minute. He won't take no for an answer. Now what do you guys do? Keith said smack him. Okay, so we got violence. That is an option here. What are some other things you might do or say? Jared's also getting violent. Hi, Michael. Oh, Michael. Hi, Michael. Let him use it. Somebody said they still let him use it. Fatality from Jared. So again, we got a lot of finish him. This is hilarious. Yeah, so most of you guys are saying you would get physical already. So he hasn't, send him to jail. So Shiza's ready to like get him written up in ISS and stuff. Whoever Corrupt Swiftly is, I would lecture him because he's younger, but then he would donate him to Jared. I would let him have it. Alex says, I would make him move because he shouldn't be doing things last minute. So it's like he gets what he gets. I would be the bigger person and still let him use it. So again, we see there's kind of this duality. Either you can be peaceful and say, all right, fine, you got it, man, or we're about to fight. Now, this third one gets even more intense. So we're on to number 3. All right, it says you are walking over to use that library's one free computer. A student shoves you, so shove, they push you out of the way to sit down in that seat. You know for a fact that she doesn't have a class until tomorrow and yours is next period. You ask her what she's thinking and tell her you have an assignment to finish. She looks at you funny, but stays put. Now, let's see all those people who were peaceful last time. When someone shoves you, would you still want to remain peaceful there? So we're on to the girl now. Wait, not some of you got to tell the teacher. One person says, eat them, says Lucky Duck. Someone would smite them with a dragon sword. Y'all are getting really funny. I can tell y'all been cooped up too long during this quarantine. A lot of people are saying that you would be violent. Someone's throwing a computer, okay? Confront them and then report it to the teacher or guardian, okay? So I'm guessing you would say you would verbally confront, not physically there. Absolutely not. So they put their hands on you. That's like the bottom line to you. Then you're going to fight. Someone would go insane. Another person would smack them, pull the chair. So it looks like, again, we see this duality of either being violent or being peaceful. And some of those peaceful ways was to just let them have their way or to like call on someone in a higher authority. So this next part here, it says there are people who might get I'm on number 2 on the bottom of the page, number 2. It says there are some people who might get physically or verbally abusive in scenario 3. So again, like I said, there are a lot more people saying that they would be violent. Hi, Tiana, I just saw your name pop up there. What kind of values might keep a person from physical confrontation? So my people who were able to stay peaceful, why is that? What are the values or what are the things that would keep you peaceful? So my people who did remain peaceful. Oh, hey, London. I thought it was because it was under, I guess it's your dad's name. Thanks for all the smiles, little chicken. So what did you guys say? What are the different things that would make a person stay peaceful? What are the characteristics? Values don't have anything to do with it, says one person. Values are useless. Thinking of the consequences. Okay, so we know when we get violent in school and stuff, we can get a punishment, we can get suspended. Maybe your parents might have a different punishment for you. So, having inner peace, says another person, Vital, even though you were going to get violent, but it's okay. I think it's funny that you answered though. So yeah, sometimes knowing that it's not worth all of the drama to just have your inner peace. Okay, knowing that if you're nice to people, nice will come back to you. And then, even if you're nice to people when they're mean, hopefully that'll teach them a lesson. That was good. Again, not wanting to get in trouble. All right, make sure we're using appropriate words there. Mr. Dickerson, I don't know if you're the younger brother. I'm guessing you are. Do unto others that you want them to do to you. So sometimes there's maybe some kind of moral or religious authority. We did just learn about different religions. All right, so this last part here, number 3, before we get to the document, I'm looking at these different sayings, and it says, select the guiding principle that you would be most comfortable applying to all 3 scenarios. So it doesn't mean that it's perfectly fitting for you, but it would be the most fitting for you. So the first one, option 1, is an eye for an eye. Option 2, turn the other cheek. Option 3, no harm, no foul. Option 4, and that's what Amanda put, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And then there's Option 5, touch me and you're going down. Number 5, talk it out. And 6, and I might have misnumbered these already, chill. So which one of those at the bottom there do you think would apply to you the most in these scenarios? Eye for an eye. Y'all are just saying anything with violence. 6, Chase says, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, talk it out. Balanced. Ray, be appropriate. Eric, a couple people say, when you touch me, you're going down. So we just took notes about Gandhi, and I had a great time reading y'all's comments and like rating them and putting comments back for you on your Padlet. And we're going to do something with that again today. But we're going to look at this document together. So normally when we do a document analysis, you guys know we would box everything that is something we're supposed to read or we might need to pay attention to. So I'm going to, oh, Michaela B, you're cracking me up. You don't want no smoke. That's funny. I like that. Sorry, I had to bring that one in. That was funny. So we're on document 4. I'm going to read some information about the source. It says, they that turned the cheek, an abridged version with the permission of Simon and Schuster and Webb Miller, I found no peace. So it's coming from the journal of a foreign correspondent. What that means is someone who's not from where they're at and they're corresponding back to their nation. It was in 1936 by Webb Miller. So this is the Salt Works, and I'm going to start reading at the top here after I tell you about the note. So I do think it's important to read the note first. All right. Madame Naidu was a well-known Indian poetess who was to take Gandhi's place should he be arrested. The author of this document, Webb Miller, was a foreign correspondent that was present at both the raid and the hospital. There were 32 injured and 2 fatalities or deaths. They were taken afterwards. This is the report that he filed. So I'm going to start reading. I'm just going to do the first paragraph, maybe unpack a little bit, and then the second and the third, and then we'll go to the picture, and then I'll talk to you about the Padlet. So Madame Naidu called for prayer before the march started, and the entire assemblage knelt. She exhorted them, Gandhi's body is in jail, but his soul is with you. India's prestige is in your hands. You must not use violence under any circumstances. You will be beaten, but you must resist. You must not resist. You must not even raise a hand to ward off the blows. And then wild, shrill cheers terminated her speech. So here at the beginning, we hear her giving a speech to people, and this is a picture, so I'm going to kind of bring the picture in. They're marching for peace, right? They're trying to stand up for peace, so they're doing some nonviolent protests that we've learned about. Hi, Nikita. All right, so now I'm going to go to the second paragraph. 100 yards from the stockade of the Salt Works. Suddenly, by a word of command, scores of native police rushed upon the advancing marchers and raided blows on their heads with steel shods, which are like clubs. Not one of the marchers even raised an arm to ward off the blows. The survivors, without breaking ranks, silently and doggedly marched on until they were struck down. The blanket used as stretchers were sodden with blood. So, whoa, y'all give me what happened here. So that second paragraph that I just read, what just happened? I'm going to read some of your comments that are on topic because some of y'all are just having some social time, but I get it. I do. So again, my question is, what happened in that second paragraph I just read about the Gandhi men? Keith, I like your emoji, by the way. That was funny. Beatings, yes. Amanda, right now you're listening and you can like type things into the computer to kind of discuss with us. And then at the very end, I'll tell you about the Padlet. Okay. Jordan says, or I'm assuming this is Jordan. He says he would have been violent back. He couldn't have been peaceful like those protesters. He said violence did happen. That's true. So who were the aggressors? Was it the Gandhi men or was it the police? Yes, conflict was happening. Gandhi was saying they shouldn't lay a hand. They shouldn't resist. Yep. So they're trying to follow Gandhi's ways. They couldn't even protect themselves. Okay, Jared, just making sure. Okay, it was the police. Yes, the police were the aggressors. So now I'm going to read the last paragraph here. It's really short. At times, the spectacle of unresisting men, that means like the sight of it, being methodically bashed into a bloody pulp sickened me, this is the reporter talking, so much that I had to turn away. The Western mind, that means like people from the Western hemisphere, so like the US and all that stuff, all the things we're thinking about, and Europe. The Western mind finds it difficult to grasp the idea of non-resistance. So that's a vocab word, it's a synonym for non-violence. So let's look at the picture. This is what people were left to see at the bottom here. It doesn't show the bloody beatings that the text tells us about. But my question to you is, what made nonviolence work? Why do you think this whole thing that happened, and think about the reporter's response. Why is this something that might convince people to make change happen when people are standing up nonviolently? Why is this convincing? And this is kind of what you're going to write in your Padlet. So if you're waiting for, oh, what should I write down on the Padlet? What is it that I'm being expected to answer? It's this. So again, the question is, what made nonviolence work in this kind of circumstance? So with this whole thing that just happened that we just discussed and I read out to you, why do you think this is something that would make people want to make a change? I guess that's Kate says people were just scared and they didn't respect them. So maybe it made people scared because they were resisting and the police got mad. So, and they're the ones who were acting brutally, not the people. Okay, so true, that's what happened. Why is it convincing? What is it that people can see? It gave them encouragement. Okay, people couldn't stand to beat the people that were not fighting back. So people couldn't stand to see. I think that's what you're trying to say, Jared. Yeah, that's the whole idea. Remember the word spectacle? That means like this vision, like people seeing this. So it was unfair because people couldn't protect themselves. So now what is this main reason? People seeing it. Think about it. There's a reporter. There are pictures. So what made it obvious to the world? It shows self-control, which makes them all come together. True. If they're both violent, no one will get anywhere. Yeah, we've learned about that too. So Amanda says, because it looked like the British were torturing them and India looked like the helpless victim. So it sets up this play where the media, that's kind of what I was waiting on y'all to talk about, and the world looking in on this going, oh my gosh, this is horrible. This is terrible. This is disgusting. We have to do something about this. And then someone else says, because I don't know whose name that is convincing because the police are the aggressor and they're being brutal, so the police get blamed. Yeah, so it sets up this dynamic of good guys and bad guys, which kind of helps the world make sense of it. Yeah, people didn't like watching other people suffer and die. So ultimately, from what you guys have told me, nonviolence worked. Oh, Jared, let me say what you said first. Media manipulation, just how I like it. I thought that sounded like something you would say. So yeah, by people seeing, and I don't know how much of it's really manipulating because they're being nonviolent, and the fact that the media is there and they're being beaten kind of shows how unfair that this system was, that these people were being beaten with media presence. What happens when the media is not there? That's the real question. So so for your Padlet, I want you to bring up all the ideas that we just kind of listed off here about the media watching, it's setting up the good guys versus the bad guys, people seeing suffering across the world and wanting to make a change outside of that nation. And then think about nations putting pressure on other nations. We talked about during apartheid when there were different laws and quotas and embargoes and tariffs, things they put on those countries to punish them to try to get them to change their ways. So I'm really glad everyone showed up, 41 people, that's really awesome. I didn't want this video to be too long, so 20 minutes is just about right. Your next step is to go onto the Padlet, which I'm gonna try to, I don't know if you're really gonna be able to see my other computer that well on here, but here is your, and it looks like Lincoln has already gotten on here. And I know it's gonna look kind of sketch. So this is the Padlet link you're gonna go to, and I think most of you guys have already gotten onto it, so you kind of know how to use Padlet. But if you don't, you press the little add button right here, and then it comes up with a note for you, which, sorry, it's hard to see that over here, where my note came up at. Okay, it's at the bottom. And then make sure you tell me your name. If you don't tell me your name, it's really hard to give you credit. So I went back yesterday and said, hey, who is this? What's your name? It's gonna give you credit. So you're answering the question, which is at the top of it. And it says, based on document 4, so that last document we just looked over together, what made nonviolence work? And I recapped those things. I think it was around 18 or 19 minutes. So if you need to scroll back and you're not on the live feed, you're welcome to do that. I am going to go post this on the blog where I have that little star at the bottom. Do you guys have any questions before I get off, or any concerns about anything? This was fun. I mean, I really want to try to use Zoom with you guys later. Only a couple of people showed up to the Zoom, and I have a friend that told me you can actually record Zoom and then post it later. So I might try Zoom for something next week. Yeah, we're about to leave the session. A lot of y'all are getting off track. All right, I see that someone has a question. Go ahead and type it in, because in about 2 minutes, I'm gonna stop the live stream. You'll have to email me. What do we do on the Padlet? You answer the question that's at the top, what made nonviolence work? And then you can read some other people's and make comments and stuff. Yes, it's Friday. Happy Friday. Subscribe to your channel. I don't know. We'll have to see about that. What's your opinion on people buying all the toilet paper? It's pretty crazy. It makes it hard when I need toilet paper. The Padlet keeps saying it updated elsewhere. So what's wrong, Shiz? Is it not opening? Why are you confused, Keith? How long are we going to be out of school? You know, I don't know. We know at least 2 weeks, so I've already got next week planned for us. If we all stay the stream, we'll live on. Not if I end the stream. Yeah, be nice to each other. She said, is it a racist strategy? Yes, use racist strategy. All right, Keith, I don't think you're confused about anything I'm saying, so I'm gonna. All right, so Sam, I may have to send your mom an email about some of your comments. All right, so I'm going to end the live feed. It's been great talking to you guys. If you need something, please email me. Have a wonderful day.